Soon, the voyage begins. RMS Queen Mary loads her passengers and cargo for another of her illustrious transatlantic crossings for which I require passage. She is like a wall, towering high over me, strong and impenetrable. Anxious am I for this crossing, dearest Marcy, to return to you and young William from a successful tour with the band. My fingers are sore from the stroking of ivory keys. I've sailed too often to be unfamiliar with the Cunard routine. Board the vessel and check in. Soon after, it's down to our deck to select my nightly seat on the restaurant chart. I miss you, my darling wife, and I count the hours until we are together again. Father, since the war you've been concerned about my voyages, but I feel no safer than when I am aboard the Queen Mary. My stateroom is the finest I've ever had, and the cuisine in the first-class restaurant is worth the voyages alone. But on this, my first night, my sore and eager stomach has no doubt led me early to the dining saloon. I suppose I'll have to wait for the stewards to set up for dinner service.
Spotlight Band. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Spotlight Bands travels to army camps, naval bases, and industrial plants all over the country, taking Americans their favorite...
Will and I hope your European visit was most sensational. We can wait no longer to see you and will be waiting by the dockside. Will also anticipates the souvenirs you bring him. A letter arrived for you from the Ray Noble Orchestra. I suspect they anticipate your arrival, as do we. Your dearest Marcy.
The veterans of combat at Santa Barbara Army Ground and Service Forces Redistribution Station and Hoff General Hospital in California.
Marcy, my love, I miss you and Will more than you can know. My only solace is the comforting halls of this familiar ship, though not all is as it was. I had difficulty locating the cabin-class library. It's as though the walls had sprouted feet and moved since my eastbound crossing just weeks ago. At times, it is very disorientating. Eventually, I admitted defeat and pivoted with a visit to the Austin Reed Clothiers. I know you'd be shaking your head, scolding me for purchasing yet another coat. Fret not. We'll be together again, my darling. Mother, I've tried to telephone, but always you are away. I'm lavished with luxury aboard this liner. Though the Elizabeth is the newer of the two vessels, I will always choose the Mary for each crossing. Her artworks inspire me as they did at the end of the war when I and the other veterans were carried back to New York. The main lounge was empty of her furnishings today. Perhaps they're preparing for a grand gala night. But it brought back those memories of the war when the room was stripped of its fine fittings. Marcy and I will invite you and Father to dinner when I arrive home. Take care. Your son, Felix. My lovely Marcy, I witnessed an early morning sunrise. The chilly breeze bit at my fingers and nose, but I cherish every minute on the Atlantic. I had an appointment with the first-class barber this morning, but again I was puzzled to find that he was not in, and the door was shuttered. Will, your mother tells me you've been doing well in school. I'm so very proud of you. I thought of you tonight as I dressed up for the Starlight Lounge on Sun Deck. It is said to be the greatest nightlife at sea, and the booming music and vibrant and colorful lights would be your favorite thing. The club can be reached by lift. One need only press the call button. Suddenly, the ship is quiet. I can't help a sense of disorientation that overcomes me. Surely I can find someone on the ship. Someone who might have an idea of what is going on. The telephones do not function. The halls and corridors are still and silent. Perhaps all the passengers have retired early for the night, or are preparing for dinner. I'm half convinced to knock on stateroom doors just to see another face and hear a voice. Through the cabin class entry, I can't find a soul up and about. Up to the A-deck overflow lounge, no one is around. These corridors, which used to carry the sounds of passing pedestrians, are now great voids that stretch on for 1,000 feet. The polished paneling carries no one's reflection in them, and I truly begin to believe I am the only one aboard this vessel. It feels strange to dress for dinner, but if there are any passengers left aboard the ship, they will be in the restaurant, the crew as well. Is it really possible that I am here alone? Where has everyone gone? Have I been alone all along? No, I heard them. I saw all of them throughout my voyage. Even now, I feel their presence here, but I cannot see them. I cannot. But the bow was empty upon send-off. No one was waving goodbye. No, there were people, but they were not waving. They were lounging with weary feet and happy children frolicking about. Perhaps the ship is filled with passengers, but it is I who has disappeared. It is I who fails to see and hear them at times. It was the year 1949 when I set sail from Southampton to be with my family in New Jersey, but I was ailing from the start, and I cannot recall the end of the journey. Not the passing of the Statue of Liberty or the skyline of Manhattan. I never left the ship. My boy William, my darling Marcy, wherever you are, know that I am comfortable, and I have made this hallowed vessel my home, for however long that must be. Know that I wanted to come home, that I had hoped to rejoin you, and for my heart to be whole once more. Now, I can only hope that soon the voyage begins.
Action.
You know what that is, right?
No, what does that mean?
You don't know what the jury is?
No.
I got he knows what it is.
You know what it is, Alex?
You guys, I'm holding up my arm. Can you just deal with the thing?
Alright, he says action.
That's it.
I didn't say cut. Yeah, we'll be doing that one next.
I was gonna say I could have.
I'm waiting for you. Only.
You're doing very well staying out of the shop.
I like.
Yeah. Were you asleep or were you just like
I
angry?
closed my eyes and I woke up. You guys are dead.
Oh, okay.
You know, it reflects.
Come to think of it, he could have just like pressed the open button right after he got in there.
But what's up?
Filming B-roll for the.
Okay.
We're doing bloopers too, so.
Okay. What is all the information I'm getting for?
Well, no one's gonna hear what you're
You
saying.
want to like tumble down the stairs?
Yeah, please tumble down the stairs. That's how he dies. Okay.
You just stuntman. Hey, Chris, you up with that?
What?
You gonna be my stuntman? Fall down the stairs?
How about you be my stuntman and fall down the stairs?
Look proud. Go.
Oh, it doesn't fit.
Can you put it through the slats?
Nah, it wouldn't work.
You sure?
Yeah.
And cut. The reason why is because I want you to do it slower. You move too quickly.
What the hell? Oh my God, no way.
Now you're gonna start to look confused. There's a wall here, and you don't remember it looking like this. You're touching the. Oh, wow.
We have to redo that. I was not expecting.
And go! Never mind. You're gonna press the button and like normal, and then you're just gonna wait, and then you're gonna stop, and then you're gonna like look down really abruptly, and be like, no, okay, I meant at the never.